Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good evening and happy, I don't even know what day it is. Tuesday. No, Monday. Is it Monday? Monday. To each and every one of you. I think, yes, Celsius. I think it is the Monday. Appreciate you guys being here. What's going on, Jungle? What? Who let the bulls out is in the building. Great to see you, bro. Great to see you as always. So, guys, look, I know I wanted to hop on here real quick. I know I'm interfering with your Olympic time, right? I know that we all want to check that out. I've been watching that for the last hour or so, but I wanted to hop on here because goodness, this information coming from Flair is really, really cool. Um, and also this news coming out of Goldman Sachs and this ETF that they're looking to put together, I think is very, very interesting. Yeah, it happens to be a DeFi ETF. Yeah, most people would have thought it would have had to do something with the Roth IRA or something like that. The old school, the old financial system. But lo and behold, here comes Goldman with a DeFi ETF. We're going to get into that as well. Shout out to that dude, the blockchain backer. Yeah, some would not give him the credit he deserves, but not on this channel. And this dude has been dedicated to the XRP community and has been given TA time and time and time and time again on all things XRP and the digital asset space as a whole as well. And he's been right so many times. And it's looking like what he said was going to happen after the B word thing and with Elon Musk and of course, just great news coming out from the SEC versus Ripple case. Narrative is changing without question. So if you're not following Blockchain Backer, I strongly encourage you to go check that dude out before he's gone, before we don't have him. Because there's a good chance. There's a good chance that he's going to live his life and at least during the bear market not be hanging out on YouTube when the bear market does come. So make sure you check out his stuff. I did get his course, thoroughly loved it, totally loved it. You go to bcbacker.com, I believe is where you get to it, bcbacker.com. Invested in myself, right? Say yes to you, as we like to say on this channel. So shout out to the blockchain backer. We appreciate you, bro. So yeah, some interesting stuff coming from Flair in reference to the taxes. So that's interesting to see that they put something out. Shout out to Mickey B. Fresh and Patty XRP. Patty XRP said that the info that that when he went over it and said, hey, that was enough for me. Now I'm going to get with my own tax advisor and see what things look like. Well, how about that? Can you imagine? Can you imagine someone taking their own responsibility for their own taxes? Can you imagine? Holy wow. Holy wow. It's good to see you guys tonight for sure. Look, the market is recovering a little bit, and that is cool. I will not be long here, guys, because I know you guys want to get back to the Olympics as well. Yeah, so you can see we're on part one of our move to Texas. So yeah, so we'll be here for a few days before we make that trek across the country. So yeah, so it's good to see you guys who let the bulls out. It's great to see you. Jungle Link is in the building. Appreciate you being here, brother. I saw the thing that you did with Jungle. Who did you do that with just recently? Oh, Crypto Eddie. That was a nice, cool hangout for sure. Keyless is in the building. What is good with you, miss? Good to see you here. Big John is here. Marco Leon, what's up with you, bro? Good to see you. Dan Rob checked in tonight. What's good with you, Diane? Dan, appreciate you being here. Holy smokes, I caught it. What's up, Moneybags? What's good with you, Dan Rob? Good to see you. What? Clayton applied for an ETF. Your boy Jay Clayton has applied for an ETF. What? A freaking crock. He needs to go to jail, bro. Indeed. Just when you just look at the dude, when you just hear the dude, it's just something that's just Bam Bam, what's going on with you, brother? Good to see you. Siege, good evening. Sir, hope all is well. Get that dirty, nasty fiat shirt. Okay, I'm gonna get that made. I am definitely gonna get that made. So yeah, so shout out to BC Backer, man. I like what he's doing. What's good with you, Al? It's good to see you here tonight. But I gotta tell you, look, this Goldman Sachs ETF thing. I mean, what do you think? What do you think? Where do you think that's going? Where do you think that's going? Shout out to the DeFi platforms: OneSwap.finance, app.ave.curve, app.ave.com. They got app.ave.com has a live chat. What? Yeah, I went on it to, just a half hour ago. I got a little live chat message thing. Now, maybe a robot though, but in any case, do you see that platform? Did you expect that from DeFi? Where you could do a little, I don't know if it's either live chat or robot chat, but did you expect that in DeFi? Yeah, app.ave.com. I saw that. I'm like, what? Shout out to convexfinance.com as well. Really, really excited about that. I went over to curve.fi today. They got nearly 40%, 39.2 something percent of all curve is locked up. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. So I'm going to go through the numbers just real quick, and then we'll get into the news from Goldman Sachs. So is that right? Bitcoin at 34. Let me refresh the page because last time I did that and it was not correct. All right, so there's Bitcoin's at $37,028. Ethereum is over $2,000, $2,180. Tether is in trouble. It feels like they're in trouble. Binance Coin $302.27. Cardano's $1.23. XRP is down. Wasn't XRP over 64 cents? I believe that it was. Interesting. It's at 61 cents currently. Dogecoin's at 20 cents. Polkadot's at $13. Uniswap's at $18. I keep forgetting that Uniswap is based out of New York, in Brooklyn. Isn't that interesting? Bitcoin Cash $472. We need Bitcoin Cash back to some big time 4-digit numbers in the worst way. Chainlink $17.88. Solana $27.80. Polygon's back down to 96 cents. What happened? It was $1.07 not too long ago. What happened there? So that's cool. That's, we got to stay above $1 there so that all things look great on Aave. Still looks great. Ethereum Classic at $46.88. I'm thinking Ethereum Classic is going to be the sleeper out of the five. EOS, Ethereum Classic, Zcash, Bitcoin Cash, and Dash. I think Ethereum Classic is going to surprise us all. I really, really do. Morning Siege, what's going on with you, Gordon Kelly? Appreciate you being here. 3:13 in the AM and you're hanging out, man. Be careful on the roads, bro. Morning Siege, just up for work. UK 3:13 AM, driving that truck, dreaming of that passive income. Flare is going to bring, indeed, my friend. Stay up to date with that. The DeFiStandard.com, one word, level up. Really, really excited about all things Flare Networks for sure. And I appreciate you checking in in the wee hours of the morning there in the UK, bro. I appreciate that big time. What's going on, Crypto Kahuna? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, XRP was at 67 cents at one time for sure. So let's get into this. What do you think about that, Jungle? What do you think about that? Goldman Sachs ETF, a DeFi ETF. There it is. Oh, I got to share it first. Let me go share it. What do you think about that, guys? I find that to be very, very fascinating. Let's do this. Let's see. Let's share that. Goldman Sachs. Look at that. Goldman Sachs files for DeFi and blockchain equity ETF. For a DeFi and blockchain ETF. The exchange-traded fund aims to invest at least 80% of its assets into securities included in its underlying index, it stated. Here's the highlights. The eligible markets Goldman Sachs is considering for investment include Australia, Canada, France. Okay, great. And the U.S. is in there. Despite delays from the SEC in approving approximately a dozen Bitcoin ETFs, fund management firms continue to submit applications. 1 week after Grayscale unveiled its DeFi fund, Wall Street giant Goldman Sachs, well, how about that, threw its hat into the DeFi ring. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. I had to take a second look when I saw DeFi, not Roth IRA or mutual funds. Oh, man, yeah. It seems like Goldman recognizes the new financial system, threw its hat into the DeFi ring by filing its Innovate DeFi and Blockchain Equity ETF, according to a U.S. Securities Exchange Commission filing on Monday. The exchange-traded fund aims to invest at least 80% of its assets into securities included in its underlying index. We already read that. Additionally, it seeks to provide investment results that closely correspond before fees and expenses to the performance of the Sole Active Decentralized Finance and Blockchain Index. I've never heard of that. Sole Active. Interesting. Decentralized Finance and Blockchain Index. I have to look at that. Isn't that interesting? I find that to be very, very interesting. Yeah. So I think that's crazy. Sponsors continue to file for Bitcoin ETFs, and some like Global X and Van Eck are doing both Bitcoin and blockchain. All right, here. During the B word event last week, SEC Commissioner Hurst Purse admitted she had never imagined that the United States would be outpaced by other countries in approving ETFs. Yeah, so interesting stuff. Yeah, so it's a battle. DeFi and everything along with it is a big time battle. But I do think, because look, the old, that old money, the old guard, right? They're look, they're gonna go down, but it's gonna be kicking and screaming. Goldman throwing their hat into an ETF is very interesting to me. Separately, Senator Elizabeth Warren gave the SEC a deadline of July 28th to respond to the questions she had about crypto exchanges and regulatory changes. Her request could mean a Bitcoin ETF hits the United States market sooner rather than later. So, and we don't know that for certain, but I do think that is interesting. I had to get on here just the fact that Goldman Sachs filed for this DeFi and blockchain ETF. I think that is really, really significant. I can see that, but they were unavailable for comment, but unfortunately, so we'll see when and if they do. But I find that to be very, very fascinating. Again, recognizing the new financial system. The new financial system. And Roth IRAs have their place in the old financial system, but in this new thing that is the digital asset space, it's quite a different thing. And sure, asset allocation in a certain portion of your portfolio, cool. Get to throw that strategy together with an LLC, of course, get that charitable remainder trust in place as well. Sure. Right now, we're trying to hook up some communications with someone who is kind of part of their business is putting trust together. That's next level stuff around your crypto. So as soon as I get in contact, I'll definitely share that with you guys for sure. What's going on, Plan X? Good to see you. So we'll see. The fact that they put it threw their hat in there, I think is interesting. Siege, where's the libations? Yeah, Alex. We had some earlier today. We're all out, I think. Yeah, all out. QFS, no. Yeah, I doubt it. So it's very, 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 very interesting to see. Very, very interesting to see. Very, very interesting. Gold won in the United States. So all that swimming's going on. So, wow. Interesting stuff there, right? Coming from Goldman to do that. I think that's very, very, very interesting that they're doing this ETF. What's going on, Tim Tiemann? Good to see you. Carl Leota's in the building. Wow, great to see you, brother. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you being here, brother. Siege, happy to be on a live with you, brother. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you, my friend, and I appreciate you being here. It was just an exciting time to be in the digital asset space. The market. What is the total market cap? Let's see where it is now. It's down 4.5%. It says so. It's at 1.5 right now. So that's cool. But we need to get back to 2 to, for me to kind of get excited. Let's get to 2 trillion. In the few days. So I don't know what is going to bring. It's a pretty big deal tomorrow, right? So tomorrow's the deal with Hinman. I mean, that's a pretty big deal, right? Right? It's a pretty big deal tomorrow with Hinman. We'll see. And then is the SEC going to respond? Is Gary Gensler going to respond to Senator Warren's thing by the 28th? We'll see. So, I think it's just lining up for a really interesting August. My guy, DIY investing, saying that this is going to be a very interesting few months. Go check them out. Check them out on YouTube. It's going to be very interesting. Yeah. So Dan Robb says, Crypto Siege, what do you expect from Hinman's testimony? And what do you expect Gensler to do about these ETFs? And his answer to Warren. Yeah, interesting. Well, I don't know what to expect from Hinman's deal. It's going to be interesting to see. Look, they came to an agreement on the questions, right? And I think that the Hinman deposition is just a layer to the strategy. It's just a part of Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson's overall strategy. I think they're going to take some of that nuggets to ultimately use them down the line. So it's going to be interesting to see what that's like. I guess we're not privy to that, how that's going to work. So that's going to be interesting to see what he's going to say. But the Ripple team is so smart, right? They just want to grab the right little nuggets and wording. And I think it's a game changer. I think we really, really blessed to have gotten both of the judges that we do have, and Judge Netburn and Judge Torres. I really do think that is an absolute blessing for sure. Kind of quite the opposite of the good old boy network and old money and that type of deal. And so really, really excited about that. Don't you find it fascinating, Dan, that Gensler comes out on Twitter today introducing himself? Interesting to me, the timing of that, right? Very, very interesting to me, that timing of Gensler getting out on Twitter and introducing himself. Right? A couple of days before he has to come up with something supposedly to Senator Warren. Interesting to me. What's going on, Jay Coyne? Good to see you, my friend. It is great to see you. But here's some interesting news. So ultimately, about Gensler's answers to the ETFs. Yeah, I feel like Gensler is. I just think he's part of and very comfortable in the bureaucracy of it all. And I think it's cool that he knows about crypto and he knows about the digital asset space to an extent. But I think he's part of the old financial system. And I think that if he's going to give blessings to some ETF, it is going to be the likes of Goldman Sachs. Now, who's to say? I just, coming from Goldman's, right? I don't think they're just putting stuff together just to put it together. You know what I mean? So, but I don't, I think that Gensler is familiar with crypto, but I think he still is going to rule with an iron fist, if you will. And I think it's easier for people of certain generations to do things a certain way. And I think that besides Emmer, I think if you look at Soto and the other people there, I think it's a different kind of generation. So I think that, Gensler wants to, I think he recognizes the moment and the opportunity and is not going to want to get it wrong. I think that he will, I think overall long term, it'll be great for weeding out the bad actors. I think that's the best thing that he'll be able to do, right? Weed out the bad actors. But I do think that he'll lean towards old school Goldman Sachs of the world, if you will. Yeah, if that makes sense. And was Clayton joking when he filed an ETF? I haven't even seen this, Dan Rob. I mean, he files for an ETF? Clayton? Wow. And this whole time that he was in, he wouldn't approve one, and now he's filed. That's hilarious to me. I wish I would see that. I think that is just hilarious. But let's get on to this Blair tax thing. I think that is some interesting stuff. Let me share that. I haven't read it. I did read Patty XRP's tweet on Twitter, but other than that, I have not read the thing. Let me see. Then I will share with you kind of where I am with both Aave, Won Swap, Convex. Here it is here, latest from Flare. Spark, U.S. tax treatment. In light of questions raised by our U.S.-based community members regarding the distribution of Spark, Flare Network has engaged Independent Tax Counsel to provide its opinion on the tax implications of the staggered token release plan. Specifically, we asked the tax attorneys at this particular law firm whether the staggered timing of the token release would create tax implications under United States federal tax law for United States recipients under the assumption that the value of Spark would arguably increase to something greater than zero after the initial 15% planned release. Initially, please note that the below excerpts from the resultant tax memo do not constitute legal advice to members of the Flare Network community. You should always consult. With your own tax counsel for personal tax advice. Well, how about that? Just another friendly reminder that Flare Networks and Hugo is not out to figure out your personal taxes. There'll need to be open discussions about your own personal tax situation. You should have a team. Get yourself a team, right? That said, we quote the relevant parts of their analysis as follows. The Dominion and Control Doctrine. The first part of, I can't say the name, Zhang and Xia. Analysis reviews the Dominion and Control Doctrine, which basically says that the property, in this case, crypto tokens, is taxed to the recipient at the time that the recipient is deemed to be in dominion and control of that property. In other words, if dominion and control is of the initial 15% Spark distribution is deemed to exist on day zero, then when Spark is arguably worth zero, then the income tax to the recipient of that 15% is zero. However, if dominion and control of the remaining 85% spark distribution is deemed to exist only on the future dates when that spark is released to the recipient, then the taxable income to the recipient will be the value of those distributions on the dates they are distributed. So this is assuming the dominion and control doctrine. So initial 15%, zero. However, if dominion control for the remaining 95% spark distribution is deemed to exist only on the future dates, when that spark is released to the recipient, then the taxable income to the recipient will be the value of those distributions on the dates that they are distributed. Virtual currency is treated as property for federal income taxes. That's, again, these are coming from law firm, tax attorneys. The dominion and control doctrine applies to rights and property received but not paid for by a taxpayer, including unsolicited property such as free samples and security purchase rights. Airdrop coins are unsolicited property that may be claimed by a taxpayer if he has sufficient credentials. These coins are not gifts. The property is, however, an economic gain that if and when the taxpayer exercises dominion and control will be realized income. The long-standing position of the IRS has been that such rights and property are realized as income only if and when the taxpayer exercises dominion and control. And when the courts have considered the issue, the decisions are consistent with the IRS position. The proper time for determining the amount realized is at the time dominion and control is exercised with respect to the property by the taxpayer. Free samples received by a taxpayer are unsolicited property and included in income at fair market value if and when the taxpayer exercises dominion and control. These are the different excerpts here. Okay, dominion and control doctrine does not apply to Spark, according to the tax attorneys from this particular firm. Doesn't mean that they're right. We all know what's going on with the alphabets, whether it be the SEC, the FTC, or the IRS, right? So, according to this particular counsel, dominion and control doctrine does not apply to Spark. You'll have to ask around. You'll have to check with your guys and gals and figure it out, right? If the dominion and control doctrine applied to our planned distribution schedule, then the U.S. recipients would arguably face a recurring tax bill on the 85% Spark they receive in future distributions. However, according to Zhang and C analysis, the dominion and control doctrine would not apply to the 85% distribution if the initial 15% distribution was seen as a forward arrangement. Interesting. For the subsequent 85%, a forward arrangement. Interesting. If the distribution arrangement would be viewed as the recipient entering into a forward management in which they are paying a certain value in exchange for the receipt in the future of tokens being distributed monthly. The basis will be allocable purchase price under the forward management to each future receipt of 3% of the total tokens, and the dominion and control analysis of an airdrop would no longer be relevant. Now, I saw on Twitter somewhere that with the people from Flare Networks is saying that since there is a transaction on that ledger, since a transaction takes place, that's essentially kind of like a purchase. So that makes it an arrangement. So there's some kind of arrangement there. So, and I don't know the difference between if you self-custodied it, if you did it on an exchange. I do believe the self-custody having been on a ledger or something like that, it may be slightly different than when you custody, like not when you custody, but when you had it on an exchange or you had someone like Celsius Network. I mean, just think about it. The hundreds of exchanges or hundreds or so exchanges that participated in this. That's very, very few people kept their XRP on a ledger and did the thing and whatever, right? Even the Roth IRA gang, right? I mean, when I Trust Capital did it, right? So how was that different? Who was custodying the XRP there? I don't even know with I Trust. Do you still custody or do they have a custody thing over there at I Trust for that? So anyway, let me keep reading. According to the analysis, the method by which our community members claimed their initial 15% distribution or spark would arguably constitute a forward arrangement for the remaining 85%. Now, there are a number of economic factors consistent with the treatment of the initial arrangement itself as a forward arrangement. It was clearly documented that in order to claim your spark, you needed to make a transaction on the XRP ledger, which by implication requires spending some XRP. The claim guarantees the claimant's rights to the full distribution in the future. Again, this is from the law firm. This is not Flare Network saying this, right? They took quotes out from the analysis. The claim guarantees the claimant's rights to the full distribution in the future. And while it doesn't specify all the details of how the future distribution will work, like 100% upfront or in increments as currently planned, it is still a contract guaranteeing future delivery of Spark to any XRP holder who pays the requisite transaction fee on the ledger. So yeah, so that's an interesting thing there, right? So I don't know how that applies to people who did something on an exchange, or who participating in exchanges or participating CeFi platforms like Celsius. I don't know how it applies. Right. I had my XRP back then. I had it on Celsius. Very vast majority just for this, the Spark token, right? Just so that could happen. Did they take the transaction fee? Did they do it on my behalf? I have no idea. But it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to play out. If respected, the subsequent distribution of the 85% would be treated as an acquisition by virtue of the forward contract entered into currently. Interesting. Conclusion: our commissioned tax analysis concludes that the method by which users claim their spark would constitute a forward arrangement such that the subsequent 85% distribution would be treated as having the same value as the initial 15% day zero distribution. That said, we again note that the analysis heavily emphasizes that cryptocurrency is a novel industry facing high levels of scrutiny and potential challenge by worldwide tax authorities. In other words, if they want to tax it, if they want to change a law or do some other thing that suddenly a quote unquote forward arrangement no longer exists, they can just do it. I mean, that's basically what they're saying.
Oh my God, he's getting on. Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh, somebody's tired over there. Right. So do you see what I'm saying? But thanks. This is great. Totally tired. Oh. He didn't even meddle. Right?
This is semis.
Oh, it's semis. Right. So just so that's kind of where it is, right? Therefore, we urge our community members to consult their own tax advisors. How about that? And perform their own due diligence. Author, Flare team. Love it. Love it. Now, and to me, it doesn't matter when the Flare network decided to get this done, analysis, whatever. But I'm really, really happy that they did put something out. This is great to see. And so we'll see, right? What's going on, Black Impact? Good to see you, bro. Grad Barlinghouse is in the building on a live. How about that? What's going on? What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Paying taxes means you're making money. Let's go. I'll take that free money. Indeed. No, we're kind of getting 4 of them now, aren't we? Getting 4 of them. Yeah, not so bad. Not so bad. So interesting stuff there coming from Flare. Just go to their Twitter page and you can see it there. And it looks like, let's see. It looks like that is, they put a link to this law firm. They did. Is that a link? Yeah. There's a link to the firm. And so who knows, right? We'll see. It's just a link. Looks like 12 attorneys there. So, right? According to them, that's what it is. And so we'll see. What's going on, Black Impact? I appreciate the super chat, bro. Appreciate you being here. He said, I can't wait to cash out. I hear you, brother. Thank you so much for the super chat, super sticker, man. I appreciate it. Will XRP is in the building. Yeah, I can't understand why they are, my friend. But boy, oh boy, it was just a couple who got really, really concerned. A couple of content creators who I'm glad it's passed this, but they were looking for Flare Networks to kind of solve their tax issue. But I think that's an interesting read. Definitely want to read that for sure, guys, and check that out. Oh man, it changed the page on me. Hold on a second. There it is there. So I'll put the link in here for you guys to have it if you want to read it again. And obviously this is something that you can kind of take to with your tax people, see if it makes sense for you and your situation, coming from the company, if you will, that provided and issued this. And maybe arguments can be made on your behalf with your attorney, in terms of how that's going to look and why you filed it the way that you're filing it. You know what I mean? So I think it's great that they did that, and I appreciate them doing that big time. So that's the one on the street, guys. With that, look, Goldman Sachs is filing a DeFi and blockchain ETF. This is not your 2017 bull run, guys. It's just not. The digital asset space has evolved. DeFi is here, and it is the future. Just ask the people from Ripple. Ask Ashish Burla. He'll tell you. This is where we're going. And Flare Network and Flare Finance, I just got to tell you, just start out. It's going to be exciting. Your shot for some big time passive income. I'm curious to see, is Flare Network and Flare Finance or Flare Network going to be more like Ethereum, people coming and building on it? What is Flare Finance going to evolve to? What is that TVL going to look like? Both have governance, will be able to participate, especially. That's going to be exciting to see. We will get to participate, not just in using our Spark tokens, but in voting and providing governments. And I'm striving, and I hope you guys are as well, to be the governance model that other communities strive for. Flare Finance was 6 products when they launched, not doing the Songbird thing, but when they launched with 6 products, as an amazing opportunity for TVL, I believe. Amazing opportunity for TVL. Total value locked. Just look at DeFiLlama.com. Check out Aave and Curve and Maker and Compound and Yearn Finance. Billions upon billions upon billions of total value locked. That's a lot of transaction fees. That's a lot of liquidity being provided. And you get to participate in that. You know, that's going to be really, really cool. The Songbird network is the best thing that could have happened. We now get a chance to test it. And there's very little risk this way, right? You don't risk your Spark token at all. You risk the Songbird, sure, but you don't risk that Spark token. So I think it's amazing. I think Songbird is going to turn. It has a shot to turn into something fantastic as well, as a network, as his own chain, right? His own live network, right? And I think that is really, really, really cool. Right. And so, yeah, that's right. Dr. XRP, Mr. Wyfin. I'm telling you, man, oh man, it has great potential. We shall see. We shall see what it looks like, but we get to participate early. We get to know about it early. We get to participate in governance early, with Flare Finance, Flare Network. We get to, be able, participate on that platform early as well. Sure. Don't chase the game. Sure. Start out slow. I mean, Hugo himself said in reference to Songbird, why not start out with 20, 50, $100? Why do you need to, you don't need to put all your assets on any platform. So start out small. I totally recommend that. Starting out small on Songbird without question, getting a good sense of what it looks like and how it feels, right? It's going to be huge. Dr. XRP says if they distribute Songbird on exchanges, I'll just buy some. Yeah. I heard BitTrue is going to support Songbird, and BitSo is going to support the Songbird deal. So if you want your favorite exchange to participate, especially if they participated. So the word from Hugo is if the exchanges participated in the Spark, the exchange will be given the Songbird. But to get it to you, they may have to do 1, 2 things. So you got to reach out. You got to reach out to your particular exchange that you got your Spark token on, and politely ask them what's their stance, or what are they planning to do in reference to that Songbird, right? Politely do that, and you get enough people doing it, and then you will go. There you'll go, right? So for me, it's Celsius. Got to find out what's going on there. I haven't been able to make any of the live AMAs, and I'm sure that question came up. So I have to reach into the community to see what they plan on doing there. So Subsidy from Ontario, Canada. Hey, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. It's great to see you. Absolutely. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap it up. I got to go out here to try to beat this storm we got going on over here on the East Coast. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Get more familiar with Flare Networks. The DeFiStandard.com is your best source, especially if you like to read and learn. The DeFiStandard.com, learn about Flare Networks and Flare Finance, and Mickey B. Fresh YouTube channel as well. So, guys, there it is, the latest and greatest on the tax situation. Goldman Sachs DeFi ETF, not your 1990s financial system product. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this up like I do I'm going to wrap up this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money does not want you to win, but that's okay though, because you and I are already winning. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Enjoy the Olympics. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.